Normally at this time we do the offering and dismiss the children's worship. We always do something very special. So hold on a minute. We have something very special that we wanted to have the kids see. So I'm going to invite Doug up, and he's going to share about the story of Jonah in a very different way. And I think it'll be something you remember. Thanks, Mark.
Good morning. This is going to work. Super. So we've been talking about Jonah for the last 3 weeks, and today's our last opportunity to hear about Jonah. Some of you probably know the story really well because you've heard it since you're a really little person, and others of you maybe it's less familiar. Today we're going to tell the story together, and I need your help. Okay? So this is how it goes. As you know, Jonah, or you may know, is the main character of the story, and Jonah is a guy with a real attitude problem. Did you know that? So whenever I say the name of Jonah in this story, I'd like for you to go like this. Nah. All right, let's try that. Jonah. Nah. You have done that before. Good job. Now, whenever I talk about the city and say the name of the city of Nineveh, I'd like you to go like this. Huh? Nineveh. Huh? Jonah. Nah. Good. You guys are really good. This is going to be fun. Now, anytime I say the words great big fish, I want you to put your hands out in front of you like this, open them wide, clap, and say bleh. Let's try it. Great big fish. Bleh. Jonah. Nah. Nineveh. Huh? We're doing so good. Now, whenever I say the words the Lord, the God of heaven, and I have to say all of those words together, I want you to go like this. Ooh. The Lord, the God of heaven. Ooh. Jonah. Nah. Nineveh. Huh? Great big fish. All right. Okay, now this last part is a little bit more complicated, so we'll have to use our brains a little bit harder for this. We're going to divide you into 3 sections, and I thought long and hard about how this was going to work. So this is my best attempt. If you're behind that projector and fan that's hanging on that beam up there, so that if you have to look behind you, don't worry about it. It's going to be like you guys on back. Okay, you're going to be one group, and every time I say the word storm or stormed, I need you to be the wind. This is everybody in the back, and so you're going to say ooh like this. All right, let's try it. Storm. Ooh. Good. Now, those of you who are on this side. But in front of everybody who's the wind, you're going to be the bolts of lightning. So you're going to put your hands like this above your head, and we'll say, flash, flash. Good. So that will happen at the same time. So we'll practice. So they're going to say storm, and you're going to go flash. Ready? Storm. Ooh, flash, flash. Now, as soon as they're done with their lightning, you're going to be the booms of thunder over here. You can help with that, Joel. All right. All right, so you're going to stomp your feet and go boom, boom. All right, so that's after they're flashing. All right, storm. Woo, flash, flash, boom, boom. All right, I think we're ready to begin. A long, long, long time ago, there was a man named Jonah. No, there really was. And this Jonah was a prophet. That's somebody who listens to what God says and tells other people what he or she hears. Well, one day, God came to our friend the prophet and said to him, I want you to get up and go to the city of Nineveh and say to those... I said, I want you to get up and go to the city of Nineveh and say to those people... I said, I want you to get up and go to the city and say to those people, you people are really messing up. You're doing all kinds of things you're not supposed to be doing, and the things you're supposed to be doing, you're not doing those. If you don't clean up your act, you're going to have to answer to me, the Lord, the God of heaven. Well, maybe you can guess what answer God heard from our prophet friend Jonah. Yeah, you're right. He said, no way. I'm not preaching to those jerks in Nineveh. I said, I'm not preaching to them. They're not my kind of people. And so with that, he went down to the sea, got on a boat that was sailing in the complete opposite direction from where he was supposed to go. Well, I want you to think for a minute about the Lord, the God of heaven. Yeah, God's pretty big, all right, and it is really silly to think that you can try to run away from him. And so as soon as that boat got out to sea, God threw right at it a great big storm. Ooh, flash, flash, boom, boom. Yes, it stormed. Ooh, flash, flash, boom, boom. And it stormed. Ooh, boom, boom. And just when you thought it had to stop, it stormed some more. Ooh, flash, flash, boom, boom. Well, finally, the sailors on board that boat said, maybe there's somebody on this ship that's done something terribly wrong, and that's what's causing this awful weather. Well, it didn't take them long to figure out who it was. It was Jonah. Yes, it was. And they said to him, well, who are you? Where do you come from, and what have you done? And our friend said, I am a Hebrew, and I worship the God who created the sea and the dry land, for I worship the Lord, the God of heaven. Yeah, when the sailors heard that, they were pretty scared, all right. And they said, well, what do we have to do to make the sea calm down? And our friend said, you need to throw me overboard. Well, they didn't want to do that. And so they started rowing as hard as they could to get the boat back to shore. But the sea got rougher and rougher, and the waves got bigger and bigger, and the wind blew harder and harder until finally they picked up our friend the prophet and they threw him overboard. Well, do you know what happened next? Do you think that was the end of our friend Jonah? Yeah, you're right again. God gave an order, and pretty soon he was swallowed up by a great big fish. For 3 days and 3 nights he was in the belly of that beast, until at last in his great affliction his spirit cried out within him, and he spake thus unto the Lord, saying unto him, God, please get me out of this great big fish. So God gave another order and opened the mouth on that great big fish. And our friend knew what he had to do next. He went straight to the city of Nineveh. Yes, he did. He said, you people have 40 days and 40 nights to shape up, or this whole city will be destroyed. And do you know what happened next? When the people heard our friend the prophet, they believed him, and they stopped doing bad things. And then do you know what happened next? They asked God to forgive them. And when they asked him, God forgave them. And do you know what our prophet friend said when he saw all that? Oh man, God, I just knew you were going to do that. It's just like you. You're always going around forgiving people. I was hoping I'd get to see you trash this whole place. And God said, my friend, I know there are lots of people in this city who do not know their right hand from their left. But they will always be my children, just as you are. And they will always belong to me, the Lord, the God of heaven. Friends, that is the story of how Nineveh was saved by Jonah. Because the Lord, the God of heaven, sent Jonah to Nineveh, even though the Lord, the God of heaven, had to convince Jonah with a great big fish and a really big storm. Flash, flash, boom. A really, really big storm. Flash, flash, boom, boom. A really, really big storm. Flash, boom, boom. And that is the end of the story. Thank you for participating.